Hello, good morning, or almost afternoon, and it's Tracy Daviero from Your VA Mentor. Welcome to, oh, you can see my nice shot glass collection up there. Oh, well, that's okay. That's what I do. So welcome to our Facebook Live. I appreciate your understanding from last week to have us preempted. The VA conference online was on, and it went very well. We had lots of communication, lots of interest, lots of exciting things that we learned about. We talked a lot about clarity and confidence and motivation in our VA business, and that was the theme. And so it's really important to be able to focus on what it is you want to do in your business. But when we talk about getting our business out there in front of people, there's oftentimes a confidence issue that we have. We're not quite sure whether we're saying the right things, whether we're talking about the right things, and that type of thing. And so what I want to talk to you today about is your marketing message. And so when you are we've talked before about website and that type of thing. When you are talking about doing networking or just even having a conversation with someone about your business, the message that you're putting across is really, really important. And so I like to talk about it fairly often because it's one of those things that the more you hear it, the clearer it becomes. Okay. So when, we talked about website and website content and that kind of thing on our last call, when you're talking to people, you're having a conversation with them. You're talking to them about how it is you can support them, specifically what you can do to support them in your business, in their business. And so that is the essence of our marketing message. Okay. So not an elevator pitch or 90-minute, the 30-second speech that you can do or introduction or anything like that. If you show up to a networking event, say you go to one of those breakfasts that a business breakfast meeting or a business networking meeting of some kind. Everybody stands up and they kind of go around the table and they talk about, my name is Tracy Daviero, I do this, blah, 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 blah. I'm not talking specifically about that because I think in those instances you are trying to sort of cram it all together and fit in what it is that you do so that people have an understanding of what it is that, first of all, what you do, but also they can figure out from the things that you've said whether you can help them or not. But when we're talking about your overall marketing message, it's not pitchy, it's not salesy. And so that's one of the things that I think gets VAs down a lot because we're most of us are introverts. Most of us are used to being in the background, just sort of doing the work and the worker bees, if you want to call it that. And so it's really challenging for many of us to actually take the leap and do the selling part. And so marketing and sales are not the same thing, okay? Marketing is putting your business out there in front of people so that they understand what you do and they understand how you can help them, particularly a service business. So I'm talking about marketing your VA business. But, and then sales is different because you are actually speaking with somebody and asking them whether they want to work with you or not. So there are still two things. And I know the sales and marketing division was always sort of the same thing in most companies. And so they often get sort of smushed together. But so for marketing, it's about the bottom line is that anywhere you are out there talking about your business, whether it's networking, whether it's in social media, whether it's through your newsletter, your blog, or any of those things, or on your website, it's the things that you say and the message that you're getting across. And so we have a couple of different audiences that we are reaching whenever we are talking about our business in any of those particular areas. One of them is our colleagues, and it's really, really important to be able to network with your colleagues in a way that they understand what you do. And so I see a lot of times, VAs are talking to other VAs about problems they're having. And that's great. It's great to have them as a support network, your colleagues. It's very important. They do understand. They do often have a solution for you. But in terms of talking to them about what it is you do and the marketing piece of what you're doing and getting your name out there, there's a lot less of that goes on, or sometimes it's not done the right way. So sometimes what happens is, you're in a networking or you're in a VA forum and people are just sort of talking, these are the services I provide, this is what I do. But what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to articulate things in a way that the VAs that are in your network, I guess we'll call it, and I call it audience, it's all the same thing. But when those VAs that you surround yourself with, that could be potential partners for you in that they, if they can't help a particular client, they can send a referral to that client. they need to understand what it is you do. And so when you're looking to build your business, when you're looking to grow your business, a lot of VAs kind of hang out with a lot of other VAs. And so if you're doing that, first of all, I always suggest that you hang out with more business owners than you do with VAs, for sure, because oftentimes the VAs are not the ones getting you the business. But it's important to look at the places that you are spending your time, if you can also do the same thing there, and make sure that the people who are there understand the services that you sell, the services that you offer. Because the only way that you're going to get a referral from someone like that is if they really understand what you do. So for me, I'm in contact with a lot of business owners. I always have been. It's one of the avenues that I've taken to network and to market my business is networking. And so, I'm always talking to people that they're just not my people. I can't help them. I don't offer the services they need, or I'm not in the budget that they need, or, if they want somebody locally so they can meet them occasionally. Like there's, a lot of different reasons that maybe I'm not one of the ones that can help them, but I always want to be able to pass the name along. And so the more you know about other VAs, obviously the better, because you can share their names with other people as well. But it's the same thing for you. You need to be able to reach out to people, to other VAs, and to be able to have them understand the services that you offer, because it's not a matter of me just being a virtual assistant in Ottawa and someone saying, oh great, call Tracy. If I can't help that person, then I'm going to get sort of dead referrals all the time, and everybody else around is as well. So when your marketing message with your colleagues, you need to make it really, really clear what it is you do. Somehow, if you can kind of include the level of entrepreneurs that you work with. I know for me, it's always been, I've always said that I work with 6 and 7 figure business coaches. It kind of takes everybody else out. It's, if somebody's a startup, then someone's not going to refer me because they know that my hourly rate or my billable rate is at a certain level. And so sometimes the startups can't support that. So, or they don't need me, they don't need the systems that I use and that kind of thing. So marketing message around your colleagues is very important to not just network with them, not just to connect with them and build a little support network, but it's really important for them to understand the services you offer and what it is that you do and what you like to do best and the kinds of clients that you work with. So you want to make sure that you get that marketing message out. And then obviously, your clients, if you're working with anybody at this time, you want to make sure that your clients are always aware of what you're doing. So sometimes we're working with clients and we don't do, we're not providing services for them that are our preferred services at this time. I know, if you're anything like I was, you don't want to say no when somebody hires you. And so you kind of take on whatever it is that they need you to do. But you can settle into that role really quickly. So as you're doing your marketing and that kind of thing, you want to be able to include your clients in that. You want to make sure, again, that they understand exactly what it is you're doing and the things that you're focusing on. Because if their business can move in that direction, then you want to be able to have them know that as well. And so you want to advise them all the time about what things you're doing and put, like I say, the marketing piece of it is putting your business out there in front of people. And your clients are an excellent audience to put your business in front of because they've taken that step to work with you already. And oftentimes you can get other clients from either referrals or just from connecting with a particular group, and you can get into wherever they are, whether they go to events together or whether it's online and that type of thing. Then you can connect with the people who are the same, they in the same industry, or they're using the same services or platforms or whatever it is, and so you can actually reach out to them. So it's not a matter of waiting for one of your current clients to offer you a referral. It's sometimes just about getting connected with the other people that they know, and then having those people connect with you and have a consult and get going. So clients is another really big one. And then, of course, the strategic partners. And clients and potential clients, I always sort of lump together, even though we speak to them a little bit differently. They're basically the same type of people, right? And then the third audience that you have is your strategic partners. So these are usually people who are not going to be your clients usually. Say if you have, for me, I supported business coaches. If I had a bookkeeper or a website developer or, even another coach, like a high level coach or something like that, they were not going to be my client for whatever reason. But they were a really good source of referrals as well. You really want to make sure that everybody understands what it is you do. And that's the big piece of your marketing message. Who do you support? And if you can get an income level or a business growth level in there at some point, you help startups, you help medium-sized businesses, you help corporations, you help nonprofits, whatever that is, to get that into your marketing message. People get really clear. They understand then what that means, and that when they are in conversation themselves with others about the people they know that are nonprofits or they're startups or corporations or whatever it is, they're able to remember that conversation that they had with you, or those, the marketing message that you're putting out there. And so the strategic partners, they need to understand exactly the same thing as everybody else, but again, in a slightly different way. And so they need to sort of understand the things that you look after that, their partners and that type of thing might want. And so it is really, really, it's the same marketing message you're putting out to everybody, what you do, who you do it for, how it works and that type of thing. But you want to make sure that everybody that you're talking to is really understanding that so that they can pass it along. And the other part of that is with all of these three audiences as well, your colleagues, your clients and potential clients, and your strategic partners, you want to get that information from them as well. Because I always say the surest way to get a referral is to give one first. And so if you are having conversations with these people and they are understanding what it is you do in your business because of the marketing that you're doing, you also want to get that information from them and understand what they're doing in their business, who they support, where they get their clients. Because, finding clients for your clients is an amazing thing to do. Sending them referrals is great. Sending referrals to other VAs is also great because, like I say, once the best way to get a referral is to send one first. And so if you can actively do that and say, I know a really great web designer, or I know a really great, VA that supports nonprofits. And so you can connect people like that. And it really does help to build your business. You get that, your visibility is increased for sure. But when you send someone a referral, you really, sort of skyrocket to the top of their top of mind. And then whenever somebody else is looking for something, and they may even actively, look through their Rolodex to see, look through their own Rolodex to see if they have a referral that they can send to you. So when, it's like a handshake, right? One person gives someone something and then the other person gives it back. And so it's really important to be able to identify that these things are a really good way to build your business. But the key in it is to get that marketing message down, let people know exactly what you do, who you do it for, and how it kind of works out. And, if you can give them an idea of budget and that kind of thing as well, or if you don't have, if that doesn't come up in conversation, make sure that that is on your website, mine always said like packages starting at $500 a month or something like that, so that you can make sure that people are within the budget that you need to be able to work with you. So I hope that's helpful this morning. Good Monday morning, like I say, and we're here every Monday morning at 12 noon Eastern and talking about all things VA as you get started, and giving you a few tips about how you might do things a little bit better, or answer some questions that you may have about getting your business started or off the ground or growing the way it needs to be. So thank you very much for being here. I look forward to your questions and comments, and we'll take care, and we'll see you next week. Take care.